don't know. Fred picked it.
Sorry.
Why, you don't like that song? I like that song.
I mean, I could hear a few seconds, but if I'm going to listen to a lot of a song, let me hear something really good.
Richie, you like that song more than a feeling?
More than a feeling?
Boston or no? No good?
I do. I used to like Boston a lot, man.
Yeah. Robin doesn't like them.
How come, Robin?
And not a whole song's worth. I was watching you rehearse, and I was like, why am I listening to Boston?
I'd rather hear the rehearsal, actually.
That's right.
Richie Sambora, you know him from Bon Jovi, of course. I always thought that was weird that John's name got to be the band anyway. It could have just as easily been Sambora. Sambora's a good name for a band.
You know what happened? When we were kids, it's like we really tried to find a name.
Right.
A different name.
Right.
And we couldn't. And John, I mean, we really tried for like months, man, and they all sucked.
Did anyone ever say Sambora?
No.
No.
No, they didn't, man. But you know, Howard?
Yeah. By the
I
way,
was
you
going
look
to ask
very.
you know what the great thing about making a solo record?
Yes.
You can actually name the band anything you want.
And what did you name?
So
the band?
we're just kind of rolling with a few names here.
Sambora.
The first name was the Disgusting Rabbis.
Oh, I love that.
I want you to help. You got any ideas?
That's it. Disgusting Rabbis is an unbelievable name.
How about, what's the other one here? We have Satan Castro and the Exiles.
I like that one.
No, I don't like it. How about
Satan Castro and the Exiles? What are you talking about?
Bon Jovi.
How about the Katy Perry Dancers?
Oh, that's funny.
Richie Sambora, the Katy Perry Dancers.
I like that.
What else we got? We got the Fine Coxmen.
Oh, that's a good one, too. You know what? You're not bad with these names.
We got, let's see.
So choose one now so I can know what to call
I don't know. What do you think?
What else you got?
How about Dick and the Cocktails?
No, I don't like that. No, sure. How about I Fucked Denise Richards? My man.
Steady.
Are you done with her?
Wait a minute.
I got a million questions for you.
All right, no problem. That's cool.
Go ahead.
No problem, but he'd like
I don't
to
hear
get onto
Howard enough
another
of my
topic.
cans. Can you turn them up? And Robin, too, please.
Give him a little juice. Scott.
Yeah, I need more juice. You know what I'm saying?
Doing it back there.
They're doing it back because you just stare at Richie like nothing's happening.
Are they listening back there, Scott?
So, Richie, is it true you still take guitar lessons and vocal lessons?
Yes, I do, yeah.
That's an amazing dedication because I happen to think you're one of the best guitar players. You really are a tremendous guitar. And I think you're underrated. Are you not?
You know, I'm not sure. In some places I am, and in some places I'm not, you know.
When they make
Does he make those lists?
Yeah, when they make lists of some of the greatest guitar players of all time, they leave you off the list, and yet I've seen you play, and I know the music. Why are you left off of those lists?
You know, I think it's a part of, you know, in Bon Jovi, I don't get a chance to actually work out a lot.
Right.
So in essence, you know, when you make a solo record like this,
right,
man, I got to tell you something. I want you to listen to the record because I think you're really going to like it. I get to wind out a lot more. You know what I felt in rock music? There's not a lot of jamming going on.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I got a bunch of great musicians with me.
Yeah,
and I don't have my electric here today, but
right.
On the record, you'll find a lot of great songs, and me, I get to be a vocalist again, which is always cool.
You started out as a vocalist.
Yeah.
Every band you were ever in, you were a vocalist.
I was a lead singer, yeah.
And then when you hooked up with Bon Jovi, which I don't even remember how the hell you met John and all that, but we'll go into that. But when you hooked up with him, suddenly you're not the lead singer. And is that a blow to you? Is that a blow to your ego, or do you because you can get lost back there, right?
Nah, not at all. You know, the thing with me is I was always a working musician, you know,
right.
And I never took it for granted. And I was trying to get a leg up in this business any way I could.
Right.
So, you know, I mean,
what convinced
if
you,
I'm just going to be like a primary songwriter and the guitar player in a great band, hey, man, if I'm going to make it that way, that's going to be a good deal. And obviously it paid off in spades.
But what convinced you? How old were you when you made the decision, okay, I'll let this guy be the lead singer?
Oh, yeah. When I first got in the band, I was 23.
23?
Yeah, 23.
Up until then, you had been in other bands, and you were the guy, you were the front man.
Yeah.
So why did you make the decision all of a sudden to hook up with John and let him be the front man?
Well, you know, like I said, I was just joining bands upon bands upon bands. Actually, when I met John, I had already had 2 record deals.
Right.
I was on Led Zeppelin's label Swan Song.
Right.
In a failed record deal there. And then I was on Capricorn Records with a guy by the name of Duke Williams and the Extremes.
Was that a solo deal, or you had, in other words, you had a whole band that?
Yeah, there was a
Swan
band,
Song?
and I was an extreme in that band, so I wasn't the front man in that band particularly.
Right.
But all the other club bands I was in and all that stuff, you know what I mean?
When you were a young guy in Swan Song, which was Led Zeppelin's label, I remember
Absolutely.
that label. It was the coolest label ever. Even looked cool.
Oh, yeah.
When they sign you, do you think that's it? I am now going to make it. I am going to be famous.
Absolutely.
And then when it doesn't happen, is that the biggest blow in the world to your head?
Absolutely. But you got to keep on going. It's like I made 3 records before I started my own independent label before I met John.
Did you graduate high school?
Yes, I did.
You did. Did you go
I was
to
in college. Yeah, I went through 2 years of college.
Where'd you go to college?
Keene College.
And when you were in King College, you knew you wanted to be a musician.
Oh, I knew I wanted to be a musician all along.
Did your parents tell you, don't do this? This
No,
is a
you know,
mistake?
they were very supportive.
And you were a guy who sat in his room and practiced guitar every day?
Yeah, you know, I'm a self-taught guy.
I didn't know
So the
that.
only way you can teach yourself a guitar is actually to bump into your own mistakes.
How do you teach yourself the guitar? I mean, do you listen to records and play along with them?
Exactly.
And you became,
Emulate your heroes.
Do you think that you're a genius in that you taught yourself how to play guitar? I mean, to me, that would seem impossible to get to the level you're at to do that yourself.
You know, I always had an ear for music, and I kind of learned backwards because I kind of could play by ear.
Yeah.
And then I kind of went to theory classes and stuff like that, and actually learned the musical end of it.
Were you popular in high school? I would imagine you were.
Yeah, I was.
Were
I
you
was
an
a
athlete?
jock, and I was in bands, and
Oh,
I
no
was
kidding.
Oh,
going
my
to different
goodness.
towns.
You were, what were you, a football player?
I was a basketball player, baseball player. I played a little football, but I was getting my hand caught between helmets and ribs broken, and hell with that shit.
And when a guy's as good looking as you, you're popular, and you play guitar, you getting laid at 12? Or
I gotta tell you, man, it was pretty good, man.
It was,
Women
right?
like musicians, let's face it.
were you getting laid at a very young age?
Not really.
16, 17?
17, yeah.
17
That's
years
pretty
old.
young, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I bet you nailed a teacher or two, didn't you? Did you ever nail a teacher?
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
Didn't have a teacher.
wrong
but
with you?
I had friends that had some teachers.
Right.
Really?
And so you go to high school, and by high school, you're hooking up in bands, and you were signed to Swan Song by the time you were what age?
I was like 19 and a half. I guess.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I was playing, you know what? I was playing in New York, 4 or 5 times a week. I was doing Great Gildersleeves, CBGBs, privates, places like that were really happening in the city, you know?
In a way, you were blessed. I mean, most guys struggle a little more than even what you're talking about. I mean, the fact that you got signed so young to a label.
Yeah, but you know what? The record never came out, man. Zeppelin
Oh.
blew up. And that
Oh.
whole label, just took a shit, basically.
And the record that you produced with Swan Song never came
Never
out.
came out, yeah.
That had to break your heart.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I thought, here we go. We're going to the big time. Here it is,
Do you have that record somewhere? Do you have it?
It's somewhere, yeah. Actually, after I made it with Bon Jovi, my lead singer, was going through a bit of a hard time. He said, can I release it? And he needed the bread, so I just relinquished everything to him, and he just took the money. And,
Oh, that was nice.
what the,
And you felt, hey, now that I'm in Bon Jovi, it's okay to release that? Weren't you nervous that people would compare that record to Bon Jovi?
I was a kid, man.
You didn't care.
I didn't care at all.
So if you were having a lot of successes before Bon Jovi, what made you join up with John? Did you think that he was an extraordinary singer and he could do a better job singing than you could?
Well, no, you know what? I went to see him play at a club called the Fountain Casino. Remember that place?
No.
Right, it was right
I-
up the
I
street
was
from the Club
sequestered.
Benet where you used to play.
Right,
Where
right.
I used to come
Kidding.
see you play.
Right. No.
God.
Yeah, you used to play with me.
Yeah, you
right.
called me up a bunch of times. But, and I went and I saw him, and my bass player, Alec John Such, was actually playing with me at the time, and he was moonlighting with Johnny.
Right.
Because I got asked to join KISS, and I flew out to L.A.
You did?
Yeah.
Wait a second. When did that happen?
83?
83. This is before Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Those guys had heard your solo stuff.
I guess somebody, hipped them to me, and they were interested in having me come out, so I went to California for the first time.
Yeah.
And I ended up staying out there for 2 weeks and having a blast.
Wait a second. So how old are you at that point?
At that point, I'm about 22.
22
and a half.
years old. KISS called you. Was KISS already successful?
Oh, big time.
Big time. And so they
Yeah,
needed,
I was going to replace Ace when they were looking for a guy.
and so did you get into the makeup and
No. No. You know what? Honestly, I respect Kiss a lot, but my music was more into a more blues-orientated kind of thing, more
Right.
organic. I was into like Zeppelin and Hendrix and
Right.
Guys that played guitar and actually emoted through the instrument.
So when they called you and said join the band, were you open to it, or did you already?
Look, like I said, I was searching to get a leg up, and I was in like 5 bands at the same time.
But
man. It
how
was
could you
unbelievable.
turn down Kiss? Here's a band that's making a ton of money. You hadn't really broken through. I imagine you didn't have a lot of money at that point.
Oh, definitely not.
When you turned down Kiss?
Well, basically, I walked into the audition, and they were looking for a guy to like worship them,
Yeah,
and I didn't.
that's Gene.
I just wasn't that guy, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So I'm
So
like,
you didn't get
come on,
offered
let's
the
jam,
part.
let's do something. And they want to do like, you better know Black Diamond. I go, I don't know. You know what I mean? I was like, can we just play so you guys can get a sense of what I'm doing? Because I'm sure I can play your music. You know?
Right. And so did you?
They got upset.
You're kidding.
Yeah, they got a little upset.
That seems very professional to me to say, let's see if we can bond here. Let's see if
Yeah,
we
they
can...
got a little upset, but it was really funny because, like, fast forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Our first tour in Europe, we opened up for Kiss.
Yeah.
And we laughed about it a lot.
Yeah. So you went there for 2 weeks. Gene, I guess, is the big ego. Who you're not sucking his balls enough. You're just being you're being Richie.
No, they were both pretty cool to me, but I think they were, like, taken aback that I wasn't, like, so into them. Like, I was just like...
But to think about that in your life, let's say Bon Jovi had never worked out, you would have been kicking yourself in the head the rest of your life because joining Kiss would have made you a multimillionaire. I mean, what you are now, and it all worked out. But it does take a lot of balls to turn down a band like Kiss and not sit there and suck their ass a little bit and get in the band
You know what,
and
Howard?
make a fortune.
It didn't seem authentic to me for some reason.
That's beautiful.
But it's true, though. I swear to God,
love
it
that
just
about
didn't seem
you.
authentic to me, man. I was like... As an artist, I was moving in a different direction already.
Yeah, wouldn't it
at
have
that point in
killed
time.
you to play music that you really didn't care about?
You know, all the guys in your band right now are looking at you like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Of
They
course
would
you
have
do.
taken the Kiss job.
They take the Kiss job in 2 seconds. Like, man, you must be fucking maniac or something.
Let me at those balls.
So when you go out it was on Kiss's dime, you go out there for 2 weeks?
Well, you know what happened? I was actually, I used to be jamming with Sylvester Stallone's brother, Frank.
Oh,
Who?
my.
Who did
Sylvester
you-
Stallone's brother.
No kidding.
Frank. I used to, like, play with him so I was actually staying.
At Frank's?
I was, like, at Sly's house, actually.
Wow.
And he wasn't there.
Right.
He might not
Perfect.
even know that, so he's going to kick my ass when he hears about this.
So do you tell girls, hey, this is my place, why don't you come
Yeah,
on
right.
over?
I took his pictures down and put mine up.
And
Yeah.
so you went out.
But yeah, no, I was having a good time with some California girls out there, and I picked up a couple sessions.
Right.
So I decided to stay out there for a couple weeks.
Right. When you say you picked up a couple of sessions, you mean you were a session musician. You would go out there and people would pay you to sit in with a band or whatever.
Guys I knew, kind of hooked me up with some people, and I was lucky enough to stay out there, make a little bit of money so I could actually stay out there and get home.
So when did you start taking guitar lessons? When you were in Bon Jovi?
No, I was, my first guitar lesson was actually, I was 52 years old.
No kidding. And who can really teach you? I mean, there's a teacher say to you, look, Richie, what can I really teach you?
You're
You are-
holding your hands the wrong
check
way.
this out. I
like, why
walked
would they
into
fuck with what you do?
I walked into this, my favorite vintage guitar shop in California, and this guy was playing with his back towards me, and he's playing acoustic guitar, but he
Right.
sounds like 2 guys.
What was he playing? Tell me what he was playing at that point.
Just some piece,
Okay.
this acoustic piece.
Right.
But he sounded like 2 guys playing at the same time.
Right.
So I kind of walked around in front of him. I said, "What are you doing, man?
Yeah.
You got to teach me how to do this. This is like sick." I said, "I'll be back in 18 months. I'm going on tour, but
Right.
when I come back, I'd love you to teach me." So he gave me his number. He happened to be a cat by the name of Lawrence Juber, who used to be in McCartney and Wings.
Right.
But he was also now the acoustic guitar player of the year.
Right.
And he was working with all these different alternative tunings. So I started to work on him with those. So, now there's always more you could learn. That's the great thing about music.
He wasn't opposed to teaching you and giving you his secrets, so to speak?
No, not at all. Because I think it was more of a give and take. I also was teaching him a little bit.
Right.
And he was teaching me.
When
but
you say
honestly,
guitar
it
lesson,
was
though-
something that was alien to me and I never did before.
But when you say guitar lesson, you have to pay him to teach you, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So what does the
How
guy
much does
charge
he
Richie
charge?
Sambora for a guitar lesson? I mean,
Howard,
if I
don't
see
even,
you,
I don't even look. So it doesn't matter. I'm like this.
yeah,
Sign a check.
Mr. Sambora, that'll be $50,000 for
Yeah,
your
no.
lesson.
It ain't like that,
Right.
He's a good guy.
So when you got into Bon Jovi, suddenly it's a a new world for you. You're not the front man. You're not the lead singer. So now that you have an album out where you're singing lead, it feels good to you, right? You can show people what you can do.
It's it's a whole different energy. You know, I give good band,
right?
You know, and I always was a team player.
Is this a band? What I'm looking at? Are these guys in your band?
Yeah, these guys are guys I made the record with and in my band. Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. So in other words, this is not something where you just hired some musicians for the day where they're going to play with you.
No, you know the excellent thing about this record, it happened so organically, and from the writing process up, and when we took it in the studio, we sounded like a band immediately,
right?
And we just started to roll, and that's why I left all the jamming pieces on this record. You know, because, I mean, now people can get a chance to hear. I mean, like, you know, when we were kids, we were growing up with Zeppelin and Hendrix, and they were jamming on records.
Right.
So people would get to hear me play extended guitar solos.
Did you go to John and say, I'm doing a solo album, and did you say to the rest of the Bon Jovi band, look, I'm going to go do this thing? Do you have to get permission in a sense?
No, you just got to tell them, you know. We've always been supportive of our individual endeavors, you know.
What is going on with Bon Jovi? Are they together?
Dude. I've been a busy boy this year. Check this out.
Right.
At the end of this record, I started writing with John for the new Bon Jovi record. The new Bon Jovi record's done.
Oh, it's all finished.
It's all finished because now I'm going on tour for the next 3 months.
With Bon Jovi?
No, with this band.
Record.
Yeah, Richie Sambora Band.
And so
and the Disgusting Rabbis.
When you, I love that name, by the way. Well, when you
Cock and the Doodle Doos, man.
Is it hard for you to go on tour now with a new band because you're not playing to stadiums, you're not playing to bigger crowds like that? You have to play to guys, you know, you're starting out in a sense, right?
Yeah.
No, you know, I'm playing great theaters, man.
You are.
All over the world. We put the shows on sale, actually before the record came out, in Europe.
Right.
And the tour sold out the first day in pre-sale.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but it's not a stadium setup like when you play Bon Jovi.
No, we're just playing cool theaters.
But you enjoy that.
Absolutely.
No, that's great.
You know, I mean, I don't take anything for granted. I mean, obviously, every time you walk out in front of a stadium stage, I mean, it blows your mind. I don't care no matter how many times you do it. If you take it for granted, you'd be an asshole. Let's face it.
Do you think you are blessed? I mean, like live a charmed life. I mean, starting from high school, being an athlete, being able to play guitar, teaching yourself how to play guitar at a young age, getting into a super mega hit band like Bon Jovi.
Absolutely,
it's a blessed life,
and then
right?
all the women.
And then, oh yeah, I mean, my God.
Oh, you know, I mean, it's funny. You go, you know, I'm a kid from Woodbridge, New Jersey,
right?
And yesterday I went to see the Giants. I took the guys to see the Giants, and we walk in Giant Stadium, and I'm looking around. I'm going, man, I sold this mofo out like 4 times.
Right. It still blows your mind.
It's
right?
heavy, you know. It's heavy, you know. It's like guys like us, like me and you know. We actually did it.
Right. It's pretty amazing when you've accomplished that. You sometimes you pinch yourself because you know how many musicians who are great, like that guy from Wings who's teaching you, who haven't been able to break through and make it in the business.
There's that it factor.
And isn't it almost defeating to put out an album now because of the way the music business is? It's almost impossible to sell records because all music is exchanged for free almost. You're not going to make a lot of money with this record.
Oh, absolutely not. It's not. I didn't do this for the money, you know. I mean, as an artist, you gotta keep fresh. You gotta do these things. Basically, it's like you excavate inside and bring out all this stuff. And this record is about a lot of my life experience.
And how do you decide which song's going to go on a Bon Jovi album, which is going to be a solo?
Oh, you know what? There's not even any choice. When I write a record for myself, I'm the mouthpiece. I'll write a different lyric than John's ever going to sing.
Is it nice to be able to write a song on your own without John's interference? I mean, I'm sure.
Is that what you call it?
What is the process when you and John write a song?
It's very, very simple. We sit down with an acoustic guitar and a piano and our 2 voices. We have a conversation about how we're feeling. You know, there's a big commonality between John and I. We grew up.
Do you like each other?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Be honest.
I'm being honest.
I feel you don't. I feel like when I'm going to be honest with you, Richie.
No,
I've known you guys
Howard,
for a while.
We really do. It's an anomaly, really.
It is.
We get along. We've always got along. You know, there was a little wonky period in the beginning of the 90s because we were, you know, everybody experiences fame and fortune at different speeds.
Yes.
And, you know, you add a little bit of lifestyle in there.
Right.
Which I was working pretty good, you know.
Right.
It gets confused, and then, you know, we had to kind of put Humpty Dumpty back together.
What do you specifically mean? What happened? Was it because you got into trouble with drinking and stuff? And some of your new album deals with what some of your problems were, right? Like you don't make a secret about it.
Oh no, you know, I think I set out to make an authentic record,
right?
You know, because I believe there's this stigma, obviously, that, you know, people go rock star, Bon Jovi. They're going to think Richie's, that kind of person.
Right.
And that's show business, man.
Yeah.
This record was an artistic record where I decided, it's like when you did your movie.
Yes.
You put all your stuff out there.
Right.
To people, man, and it felt good to you, right?
Yes.
And you know what? Now, with my record, that's exactly what I'm doing.
I mean, you wouldn't be the first rock star to have a problem with booze. I mean, everybody seems to go through some sort of drug-related thing, except for John, right?
Yeah. You know what? It's funny because I started out playing clubs when I was like 16 and a half.
Right.
And back then, it wasn't frowned upon.
What, to drink? No, it was encouraged.
Yeah, it was like an accoutrement to my business.
Right.
You know what I mean? So then all of a sudden, but I'll tell you what, it took me about 35 years for my demons to catch up with me.
Yeah,
so I'm a pretty resilient little bastard.
I never saw you as a guy who drank a lot and stuff, so you probably drank in private, right?
You know what? After a while, what happened was, I was definitely a kind of a guy that always drank in my house. Never drank. I didn't even drink in restaurants anymore.
Wow.
Or I didn't drink around the band or anywhere near a performance.
That's when you know you have a problem, when you drink it by yourself, right? When it's not a social thing.
I guess so.
What were you drinking? Wine?
Yeah, I was drinking wine, and you know what? It was predominantly a stress reliever.
Right, absolutely.
I was using it for a specific, different reason.
So when did you realize you had a problem? You had to go into rehab. When did you realize that?
It was about 5 years ago.
You said, hey, I'm doing this too much, and I'm doing it every night.
Yeah, when I started getting clean, it was about 5 years ago. But I was doing it every night for about 30 years. So
Did you have interventions? Did anybody, did the group get together and say, look, Richie?
Yeah, a lot of people kind of said, hey, man, But also what happened, I had broken my arm.
Right.
And I was doing painkillers because, check this out. So I break my arm in my house. I get
drinking.
Divorced. Right?
You got it from Heather.
Yeah, I got divorced from Heather. Right. So I come home from one leg of the tour. I get into this new house. I'd never been there before. My sister-in-law thinks she's doing me a solid. She puts this shitty Bed Bath & Beyond mat in the bathroom.
Right.
I wake up to take a piss one morning, and I just went, biffed. And my shoulder went right into the jacuzzi, and I broke my arm in 3 places.
Oh, my God.
2 weeks later, I have to play like 24 stadiums.
With a broken arm?
With a broken arm.
Wow.
So I hired all these sports stocks, therapists, this, that, and the other thing. I said, there was $145 million on the table for this tour.
Right.
I said I wasn't going to leave it out there. Whatever I had to do, I was going to do it. So the painkillers got in there, too.
Now, are you wearing a cast while you're...
You can. It's a shoulder.
Oh, it's a shoulder. Right. You can't really do anything for that. So these guys teach you how to sort of hold the guitar so you don't completely
Well, you know what?
up.
I started going crazy. I started making these little guitars.
Right.
Because I didn't have this kind of lateral motion. But so one of my heroes was Albert Collins, a blues guy.
Right.
And he would hang his guitar off of this shoulder, and I found that I could play like this.
Oh, wow.
So, you know what? I was 95%. Nobody ever knew it, really.
And so and to get through the pain, you start taking what, like OxyContin?
Yeah, I took a lot of shit just to get through that tour, and it lasted about 6 months. And I was drinking because of the pain and getting through it profusely.
And when you mix the drinking with the OxyContin, that's a fucking powerful cocktail.
Very powerful
Nothing
cocktail.
Better than that.
Oh, and you know what? If you ask me if I remember those months, I would say absolutely not.
Wow.
But you know what? I was a hero, got through the tour, and just like, all the other substance in my life, I figured this one would just fall off.
Right.
No such luck.
Yeah, no.
I was very, very naive to it,
Were you like, hey, this OxyContin is more addictive than anything ever?
Anything.
Like, in other words, you said, hey, now I'm done with the pain. I'll stop the OxyContin. And then when you go to stop, it actually hurts.
Shaking like a leaf, man.
Wow.
And I'm an asshole. I think I got like Parkinson's.
It's never the stuff, right?
Could it be withdrawal?
You know what I mean?
Right. So
I'm all freaking out. I don't know what's going on.
So now do you have to go score OxyContin, because now you can no longer get it?
Doctor shopping?
No.
All right.
You know what I did? I just detoxed. I went in, I checked in, and I just detoxed for like 7 days, and I went right back on the road.
Is it almost impossible to do it on your own? Because OxyContin, they say, is like hillbilly heroin. It's the most powerful.
Well, I think you could do it, but you got to do it under the supervision because guys like our age can have a stroke.
Right.
If you just cut it off.
Was Limbaugh in detox with you?
He was right next door climbing the walls, yeah.
I heard a rumor that Lindsay Lohan was in rehab with you at one point. Did you bang her in rehab? Or no interest?
No. But I think she banged someone else and got in trouble.
Oh, she got in trouble.
Yeah.
You could get in trouble.
She was hot, man.
Oh, yeah?
She was hot.
She was hot.
Yeah, I talked to her for, I hung with her a little bit.
but you didn't put the moves on her.
No, she's too young.
Too young for you?
Yeah.
What is your cutoff on age?
I try to, 10 years older than my daughter.
Oh, good, yeah.
That's always got to be.
Isn't that a good rule?
That's a good rule.
I think
Does
it's a
that
good rule.
always
I
have
have
to
to throw
be?
some back.
And speaking of your daughter, she's got some huge career going in modeling, right?
You know what? Actually, she just acted in her first movie.
Right.
This is 40 with Judd Apatow and Megan Fox,
And how did that go?
and she killed it.
You saw the movie.
I haven't seen it yet, but I talked to those guys. She killed it.
So she has a
and
career.
it was improv. I was like, and she's
Really?
14 and a half.
She's only 14?
14 and a half.
Oh, I thought she was
She looks
old.
like she's 20. Wait till I show you a picture.
Wow. Wow.
She's doing really, really great. I think
Does
she's
she look
about
like
to sign
Heather?
with.
Does she look like Heather, her mom?
Yeah, she definitely does.
Yeah, that's a good look.
Yeah.
That's a very good
I'm
look.
in trouble, man. She has my gregarious personality,
Yeah.
and Heather's good looks. So.
Oh, boy.
That's
That's
awful.
a bad combination.
That's right.
It's-
How are you going to keep that kid in line? I guess you can.
you know what? All you can do is equip them with the tools to take care of themselves.
Is it
Because you
hard-
know when the minute they're out of your sight, they're acting up.
And so now you're clean and sober. It took you a couple of trips to rehab, right? Because when you get out, all of a sudden that OxyContin starts calling to you again. The drinking, right?
No, you know what? That never even came back into play. I forgot about it very quickly.
Just
actually.
drinking.
Yeah, it was a drinking thing.
Did you think that you could take a couple of drinks and then deal with it?
Of course, you're going to try it,
You always try that.
and it don't work.
It doesn't work.
No.
It increases. It never decreases.
You know what? It just doesn't work, man.
Just
Doesn't work. So you know,
now
I
do
got to be
you-
honest with you. You know, I'm like
You're
healthier than I've
teetotaler?
been in my life.
You look
probably.
really good. You do.
Thank
I
you,
gotta
brother.
say, you don't deserve to look this good with all the shit you've been doing.
Hey, we don't
When
look
he
our age,
said he
pal.
took his first guitar lesson at 52, I was like, well, how old are you?
Yeah, right.
Well, you know, the thing is that keeps you young too.
That's right.
Anytime you're learning something new and evolving like that, man, that just keeps you young.
Yeah, it does. So you're feeling good about a new record, and you're clean and sober, which is
Is he a
awesome.
teetotaler? He doesn't do anything.
You don't do anything now. Like if
No,
I go
nothing.
to dinner with you, are you ordering a club soda?
I'm doing like Perrier and lime, you know,
I bet.
non-alcoholic beer.
Oh, come on.
That's awful.
You'll have a few. We'll go out
Hey,
to
you
dinner.
know,
You'll
I
have a
was
few-
listening to
you'll
your
have a
show
few
the other
glasses
day
of
about the
wine.
Jewish men and they got to start drinking.
Yeah. No. We'll go out to dinner. You could have a few glasses of wine. It'll be fine. Imagine that. I would not want to be with you if you started drinking again. Everyone would blame me.
No, you know what? And I was kind of a happy drunk anyway.
Right.
I just started to, you know, my life choices at that point were starting to get kind of blurred.
So you think you're capable of never having another drink?
Oh, absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's done.
Howard, I drank enough for about 100 guys.
And did John ever come to you and say, listen, you got to stop drinking?
Yeah.
He laid that on you.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I had a lot of support.
Did you tell him to fuck off?
No,
You did.
no. Listen, I kind of knew I needed to dry out,
Wow.
you know, and I didn't know if it was going to be forever, you know, but
Right.
I knew I needed to just kind of just get
Right,
my
good
life
for
together.
you. So you're busy now. Are you worth $65 million personally? That's the figure I read on the internet, that you have $65 million.
Take a, you know, give or take a few shekels.
That's nice, isn't it? That's really good.
But wait a minute. In the divorce, you don't lose a lot of money?
Hey, did Heather take you for a lot of money when you got divorced, or did you have a prenup? As they say?
Prenuptial.
Prenuptial. So you're safe. Thank God. Well, listen, Heather's got a lot of money.
She's got her own bread, man.
She's got money.
You know, I mean, you know, I was always drawn to, you know, a lot of high-profile women, I think, because I think I really connect with people that are in the business and they understand what I do and I understand what they do.
Right.
And, you know, that was one of those things.
So are you making a statement now that you mostly bang people in the business, like high-profile broads, right?
Not anymore.
Is that true? Is that like now you're
No. You know, hey, look, I'm single now, man. It's all good.
So are you dating anybody right now? Are you out
Yeah,
dating?
you know, I'm kind of dabbling around. Nobody that's sticking. You know, it's been such a busy year for me.
Right.
But I've never done 2 albums in one.
But you're not that busy. You can't get laid. I mean, come on.
He's
Oh, you got to
just saying
sneak that
he's
in there, bro.
not-
Yeah. And
He's not
Denise,
sticking with one.
when Denise Richards came in here and she talks about you, she says you are a great lover. I mean, she was very highly complimentary. Like you really gave it to her. And that is a sexy woman.
She ain't so bad herself, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. She is a sexy fucking woman.
Yes, she
This
is. She
Denise-
always has been. You know,
Oh,
it's,
my God.
It's very insatiable. And she's a good girl. She's a good woman.
She admits it. She says, I have to fuck like crazy. You know, she loves it. She loves to fuck. I mean, guys, what are we talking about here?
Hey,
Is she
nothing wrong with that, man.
Is she the sexiest woman you've ever been with?
Got to be up there.
Wow.
It's got to be up there.
So you guys got back together again, and now you recently broke up again.
yeah.
What happened?
the-
Well, you know, I
there.
think that we were basically going in different directions, unfortunately. Like I said, this has been the busiest time of my life between doing my record, writing and recording and all that stuff for the Bon Jovi record, and being
Right.
a single dad. You know?
How does that work for you, being a single dad?
I love it so much.
You do, but doesn't the kids? Don't the kids usually kind of go off with the mother more? It's like it's hard for you to.
No,
see.
you know, her and I have a very, very great relationship. I don't know what happened to you when you got divorced from your kids, but
Right.
when I got divorced, my relationship with my little girl got better.
Right.
You know, because I mean, the time that she was spending with me, she was spending with me.
Right. And you got to do stuff on your own. Oh yeah, there you go. There's a picture of the two of you guys. Look at that. Very nice.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
Look at you. And so you say things got better. And are you still friends with Heather? Like, can you go over there? I read that you actually go over there and have Thanksgiving and all these holidays.
Absolutely.
With Heather. You can.
Oh, yeah, no, we just, you know, at first it was, you know, anytime you get divorced at first, always there's that, you know, kind of period where you're like, you don't like each other.
Right.
You know, because you're fighting about finances and this and that and the other thing, blah,
Right.
blah, 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 blah.
Who's
So all
going to
that
pay for this and who's going to
little hangover on that thing goes on, you know.
Right.
But, no, Heather and I, you know, knock on wood, are really great friends now.
Okay.
Ava and Heather and I went to a wedding together about 3 weeks ago.
That's fantastic.
You know, we text each other. Heather's working again.
What
She's
is
doing
she
really
doing?
well. Actually, she texted me yesterday, and she's doing a thing on Scary Movie 5.
Oh, no kidding.
Where she plays the mom of the Black Swan, and it's funny as shit, man. It's funny.
Have you ever gotten to the point, post-divorce, that you've had sex with Heather again since the divorce? Would the two of you ever go back there once
No,
in a
I
while?
don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
It can't happen.
Can't
I don't
cross
think
that
so.
line, huh?
We can't cross
Too much
that
water
line.
under the bridge, baby.
Too much.
Yeah.
Like, it's never been a night you're all hanging out, it feels good, your daughter's, you know, hanging out, the kid goes to sleep or goes
You
out with a
forget
friend.
you're not
And all of a sudden you go, you know what the fuck? You know what?
Let's just go to bed.
You're Heather Locklear, I'm Richie Sambora, why not? Why not?
Let's
I
just
can't
go
say the thought
upstairs.
hasn't crossed my mind.
Right, why
but
not?
no, you know what? I think, you know, you got to leave what's in the past, and, you know, you don't want to start churning up that thing again, man.
I heard what came between you and Denise was that she was still in touch with Charlie Sheen, and Charlie's a big pain in the fucking ass, and you had said, look, man, I can't be with the chick if she's going to hang out with Charlie, because it's too fucking crazy, that whole scene.
Nah.
True or false?
False.
Really? You know
Absolutely
Charlie at
false.
all?
Absolutely. Charlie and I are friends, man.
Oh, you are?
And we've always been friends. Me and him used to hang out in the old days when we both were crazy.
Right. Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can
Man,
hang
yeah,
with
he
Charlie
scared the hell
Sheen?
out of me, man. I used to have to
I was
leave
gonna say.
sometimes.
You weren't that crazy.
I wasn't as crazy as him, yeah.
He's crazy.
Yeah, but you know what? He's a really good guy in a good way.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you hang out with him, he's a real man's man. You talk about sports, you
Right.
know, you hang out.
Were you ever in the home when he has all these women and the parties
The
and the hookers
goddesses.
and the goddesses?
You know, I never was. I always used to go out with him. I would
Right.
meet him somewhere. We'd go to some parties, you know, go out to dinner, things like that. And,
you
know,
two
there's,
must have been up to fucking shenanigans.
Oh, it was
huh?
fantastic.
Unbelievable.
Like the kind of shenanigans we did, you know, in the old days, too.
Yeah, well,
Me and
I
you.
mean, I never had shenanigans like that. I mean, you know, what did I do? Nothing. Now
we did the, you know.
Now let's see. The new single is "Every Road Leads Home to You." Before you play the single, I know you're going to do that today. Would you do an old Bon Jovi song?
Sure.
You would do one. Now, let me introduce your band here. The band is Luke is on hand percussion. That's something I'm getting into, hand percussion.
You're taking lessons?
Yeah. How is that? What are you playing over there?
I don't see so well anymore.
Yeah, what is that? Like a bongo?
It's called a cajon.
A cajon?
And it's kind of like a little
Oh.
mini drum kit.
Let me hear a little of that. I can probably play that, I think.
What's that?
I think I can probably play
Probably.
that. Yeah. I can do Wipeout.
It's easy. I can play it.
Yeah, you can do that stuff.
Yeah, I got that. Okay, so you got Luke, you got Kurt on bass over there. How you doing, Kurt? You like this new band?
Love it.
What is it, the Flaming Rabbis or the Dirty Rabbis?
It changes every day.
That's right.
We're going to try changing every day, Darren.
And Pete on guitar, right? Peter Stroud.
How's it going?
Hey now, what's happening? And and Matt Rawlings on the keyboards back there. Okay, so this is Richie's band. Now, does John get upset when you sing a song like any Bon Jovi song? Does he get upset by
No, not at all. Because we wrote them together.
Right.
You know, they're just as much my songs as his.
Did you primarily write the music and he wrote the lyrics?
No, we do both.
You do both?
Yeah. I'm a lyricist and a musician, yeah.
Right,
And
okay.
the music guy.
Right. So
Always have been.
When you write with John, it's the same thing. You just do
Same thing. But the difference is that, you know, when I write for myself, obviously, I get to cover the subject matter that I want to cover, and I'm the mouthpiece.
When you wrote "Living on a Prayer with John," where are you? What point in your life? How old a guy are you?
25.
And Bon Jovi already had some big success, right? You guys were...
No, we actually had minor success, but we were fledgling, man. We were broke.
You were broke.
Oh yeah, we had a platinum album, we had a gold album, but we took the band on a tour for like 9 months. John and I both put up a lot of publishing money to do that and subsidize the whole thing. I mean, my road crew was making more money than me, man.
Isn't that amazing? You already had some hits, and you were broke, and you go out on tour and you're broke. You're broke from the tour. Everyone thinks you're an instant millionaire, and kids today don't get that at all, do they?
Yeah, it's not. You know, I tell you, it's expensive. You know, you take guys all around the world. You got to ship the equipment.
Right.
You know, you have to do a lot of work, and you stay out there for a long time. The bills add up.
So when you have a couple of sort of, as you say, minor hits, you go out there on tour to kind of build a following to get so that they'll buy the new album you're working on. And so, in a sense, the song "Living on a Prayer" it's an interesting title. It's like you were living on a prayer. What if this record didn't work out? You guys disband. It doesn't happen. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
Was that what the song was about?
Well, basically, you know, first time we ever used two characters in a situation.
Right.
Tommy and Gina.
Right.
And essentially they were a metaphor. Everybody has been in that situation in their life where they're on the balls of their ass.
Right.
And they're trying to make ends meet. You know, we've all been there.
Were those two characters you and John, in a sense? Not that you were lovers, but I'm saying, was it that you guys were on the balls of your ass?
I guess probably in the back of our mind it was that, but I think it was more like our parents, people we've seen growing up, very blue-collar New Jersey kind of upbringing and stuff like that.
Right.
And then it became the world song.
When you write a song like that, do you immediately know it's a hit?
I did, and John didn't.
Really?
Yeah. He tells the story on stage all the time. I said to him after we wrote it, I'm going, dude, I think that's the best song we've written so far in our career. And he's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's good or not, you know.
Do you think he said that because he didn't want to jinx it, maybe?
I don't know.
You don't know. But you knew it was a hit song.
I knew it, yeah. I knew it was the best thing we wrote. You know, then Wanted came along, Never Say Goodbye.
When you played Living on a Prayer for the record company, they immediately recognized it as a single?
Oh, absolutely.
They did. And they knew it was a hit.
Absolutely.
Right. And then was John convinced that this was going to be a hit?
Yep.
And when they started playing it on the radio, was it almost immediately a huge sensation?
Yeah, we first put out You Give Love a Bad Name, and that went to #1.
Right.
And
then Living on a Prayer was the second single?
Went to #1 too, all over the world. And as a band before that, we went to all these different countries. We were very, very smart. We seeded the world.
Right.
You know, so people actually knew of us. They knew that we were a good rock and roll band. We just didn't have great songs yet.
Right.
And it really gelled. Slippery and Wet, our third album, that's when it hit.
You can't rest on your laurels either. I mean, as big a star as you guys are, now you have a new record. You got to go out and work it like it's a first-time deal for you.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah, you've got some name recognition and all that, but you still have to go out and
You got to go out and you have to have the goods.
Yeah. All right, so play a little Living on Prayer, and then we'll hear something new that you're doing.
All right, you want to hear Living on Prayer?
Here we go.
Says we gotta hold on to what we got. Doesn't make a difference if we make it a whole lot. Got each other, and that's a lot for love. Tommy used to work on the dial. The union's been on strike. He's down on his luck. It's tough. So tough. Gina works a diner all day, working for the man. She brings home the pay for his love. His love. We gotta hold on to what we got. Doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. Got each other, and that's a lot for love. Oh, way there, oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, living on a prayer. she does. Cries in the night time and whispers, baby, it's okay. Says we gotta hold on to what we got. Doesn't make a difference if we make it all right. Got each other, and that's a lot. Oh, baby, oh, living on a prayer will make it, I swear. Oh, living on a prayer, yeah. Woo. Gotta hold on, ready or not, willing for the fight, so that you got. Oh, living on a prayer. Oh, living on a prayer. We're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand, take my hand. Oh, living on a prayer.
Very nice, boys. Wow.
Yeah, baby.
I
They
love
sound
that.
good together.
You sound good, you screaming rabbis, or whatever the hell it is. When you play a song like that, you love that you love the two-neck guitar, right? You love that. Well, very few guys play that. And why do you love those two necks? What explain
What
that to
is
me.
that
I'm not a
all
guitar
about?
player.
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, they're the sixth string.
Right.
It's got a different sound to it because you can play the leads. Right, and then the 12th string.
Oh, that's a 12 string. Wow.
It's a little more orchestral, but that's the one sound. See, it's got 12
wow.
strings, so it has a little more resonance to it. It's like
I'm a cowboy. It's
You know, that's what, like,
getting
Crosby, Stills,
to
and
the
Nash.
point where I can't anymore.
I am dying.
Stephen Stills is fantastic, right? I mean, he's underrated, right? Stephen Stills as a guitar player, don't you think?
Great.
He's a
Talk
great
about
guitar.
an underrated guy.
Unbelievable. That solo
Underrated
album
cat.
he put out really showed what he could do.
Oh man, he's badass.
You're a badass guitar player.
Thank you, brother.
Fred, don't you agree?
I think he's one of the most amazing players of all time.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. You want to hear me play? I think this record that's out now,
Yeah.
I'm playing the best I've ever played in my life.
Do you think Kiss is upset when they're listening this morning and they're going, man, we should have taken...
No, I think they're quite well off.
Yeah. Don't you
They got
think...
more money than me, bro.
Would you say that...
Like a lot more money.
Well, yeah, because they charge... They build caskets. Is there ever going to be a Bon Jovi casket?
I doubt that.
When you...
I mean, I'm a whore,
Right.
but not that big.
They are the real whores of the business, right? It's unbelievably... They're not ashamed at all of taking every
Oh,
dime.
no, they're shameless, man.
sometimes you have to say to yourself, hey, I'll pass up on some merchandising, right?
Exactly.
You have to. Think of the arguments you would have gotten into with those guys had you joined KISS. What a different life it would have been.
Oh, yeah. Incredible.
Yeah, remarkable. Do you think you're the secret weapon in Bon Jovi because you're a lead, as you proved here, you're a lead singer, so it's really two lead singers in the band?
Well, you know, I think a lot, if you look back on our records, I mean, a lot of the
harmonies,
the harmony stuff that I did with John is basically almost like the Everly Brothers in a way. They kind of go together.
And I don't hear like it's funny that you went to Crosby, Stills and Nash because I always say, how come no bands do that anymore? They don't have those like you guys were harmonizing beautifully.
We did. These
there.
guys are great.
Yeah, that's really good. And does that take a long time to work out? Who's going to do what part? And when you
know what? When you got great musicians like these guys, I swear to God, I mean, it's basically almost instantaneous.
So when you say "Living on a Prayer," who decides to go up high? Who goes up high?
We just, you know, the guys kind of decide amongst themselves, and I just sit there, and you know what? It's like, here's what, like just a little thing, but it's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are blending their harmonies. There's the sound guy's not doing that. They're doing it because they're that good.
I noticed you back off the mic at some point.
Everybody's kind of breathing together, and that's the great thing. You know what? You could put a bunch of musicians together,
right?
And they could be really good musicians,
right?
But it doesn't mean they feel the groove at the same way. Doesn't mean that they're going to breathe with you the same way and breathe the songs I should breathe. You know.
Do you ever practice that without any instruments? Do you ever that harmony part? Do you ever do that?
Absolutely.
You do. What does that sound like without instruments? Just that part when you go.
You want to hear it?
Yeah, let me hear that. Without any. Go ahead.
Acapella.
Yeah, let me hear that.
Okay.
We gotta hold on to what we got. It doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. We got each other, and that's a lot for love.
I want to be able to do that. Why can't I do that?
You know, for me, it comes out of doing
fucking
like
tone
when I
deaf.
was a kid.
Yeah, that always came out.
My neighborhood, all the guys were singers. And I would hang out on the corner doing doo-wop.
Because I always loved in Bon Jovi when you're playing, and all of a sudden I watch you on stage, and John's doing his thing, and then all of a sudden you do it very sort of quietly. You go into the microphone. I love that. I want to be that guy. Instead, I'm here. My stupid dick jokes.
You're doing good, brother, and you're doing it well.
I'm doing all right. Now, this new album, let's get to the new single. So this is very personal, this song to you. What song are you going to be doing for us?
Here's a song called Every Road Leads Home, and it seems to be the impact track that everybody is kind of going towards these days.
Right.
But interestingly enough, you know, I decided to go with an independent label.
Okay.
Which is interesting because the business is changing, obviously. You
right.
know, obviously, social media and downloading is really what's going on.
Right.
And I also wanted to make the record I wanted to make artistically.
Right.
And, you know, obviously there's going to be a commerciality in it, but there's a lot of jamming in this. So you're getting the acoustic version of this stuff, but people are reacting to this track.
Now, some have interpreted this track, Every Road Leads Home. Home being Denise Richards' vagina.
Oh, my God.
That's true, Robbie. Am I right, Richie, on that? Or is that a misconception?
It was actually, it's actually me being on the road coming home to my daughter, actually.
Oh, how boring.
Yeah.
I thought it was about Denise.
You know.
You got to tell me what she's like in bed.
She's lovely.
She talks up such a good fucking story here.
What are you going to do, man? I mean, you know, she's hot.
And she's a freak. She describes, she's blowing her, you know, she describes the whole thing. She loves anal. She loves anal, she told me.
I just work here.
I know. Are you into anal? I mean, giving it. All right. So this song that Richie's going to do. Giving, of course.
Yes.
All right. It hurts when they receive.
Oh, my God.
I mean, if you would write a song about how you manage to last when you're in bed with Denise Richards and I blow off right in 2 seconds, I would listen to that song. That's another song you should write. All right. Listen, Richie, so this song...
Next time, before I write a song, Howard, I'm going to consult you first.
Please do. Every Road Leads Home to You. Richie's new album, Aftermath of The Lowdown, featuring the single Every Road Leads Home to You, is in stores tomorrow. That's going to be happening.
Yeah, the digital date is tomorrow. In October, you'll be able to, first week of October, you'll be picking up in stores.
And tickets for Richie's October tour dates with the Screaming Rabbis is in Philadelphia and New York. They're on sale now at RichieSambora.com.
That's right.
That's where it all happens.
It's all happening there, man.
All right, so here's the song. Let's listen and see if we can understand what Richie's trying to say to us in this song.
Yeah, no problem. It's called Every Road Leads Home to You. All right, dudes.
Here we go.
I'm lying here alone, restless in a faraway bed. The stars are falling down, and I'm half a world away, just trying to close the distance. Feel each breath that you take, and the bridge is burning, and I'm losing my faith. I'm trying to find my way to the truth, like a wild eye flying. Now I'm blindly running from everything I thought I'd do. Every road leads home to you, home to you. So you got me to believe, made me turn on the dial. Writing on the wall, right in front of me, every song, every line. But I don't need 1,000 words, I need you safe in my arms. I'll be standing strong, I'll keep holding on when life just tearing us apart. When the bridge is burning and I'm losing my faith, I'm trying to find my way toward the truth. Like a wild eye flying, now I'm blindly running from everything I thought I knew. No, I ain't regretting just how lost I'm getting. The red lights I've been blowing through. My foot will find the pedal as I'm counting the lights. Every road leads home to you. Every road leads home to you. The road still leads me home to you. Sometimes I don't see the signs, headlights make me blind. The road still leads me home to you. And the bridge is burning and I'm losing my faith. I'm trying to find my way toward the truth. Like a wild eye flying, now I'm blindly running from everything I thought I knew. Though I ain't regretting just how lost I'm getting. The red lights I've been blowing through. My foot will find the pedal as I'm counting the lights. Every road leads home to you. Every road leads home to you. Home to you. Home to you. Every road leads 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 home to you.
I love that. Beautiful song.
Thought that was beautiful.
Beautiful.
I know.
Right?
Pretty good song, hey?
Real good song.
I liked
I'm
it.
telling you, man. Thank you, Robin.
I loved it.
Thank
I
you,
loved it.
Howard.
Did you play that for your daughter?
Oh, yeah.
And did you say, honey, this is about you, or you just don't say
Absolutely.
anything?
She loved it.
She loved it. That's a beautiful thing for a father to write to
Yeah.
his daughter, especially
Yeah.
a divorced father, because Heather can't write a song for her. And you say, look, Daddy's better than Mommy,
Guess
right?
what?
Well, you know, hey, there's that, there's the thing between a father and a daughter, man.
Right, it's very special.
That's just a little deeper, man.
Yeah, that's great, I tell you.
But you know what? The thing about the song,
I mean, what does Heather do? Heather goes out and buys her a sweater. You write a song for her. You know what I'm saying? I love
That's
that
right.
song. I love
the
it.
thing about this song, it's like this whole album is interesting, because I write stuff about me and what's happening in my life,
Right.
and I realize that it's everybody's stuff.
That's
It's actually
right.
universal. I mean, I think I've always been good about that, and I've always been good like that. I mean, even living on a prayer. Like I
Right.
said, it kind of
It's
was
about
about us
people's-
struggling,
Right.
doing our thing, getting out of New Jersey and trying to make ends meet. But it became everybody's song, and I think that a lot of this record, I think people are going to relate to a lot because it's an authentic human record, and it's got a lot of fire to it. And if you listen to the lyrics, I think they're good stories.
Is there anybody you like out there now? Any young kids coming up, or are you just totally disillusioned with?
Man, no. Being from an independent label, man, I listen to a lot of new stuff that's really obscure, like in Silver Sun Pickups and Fits into Tantrums, and
you
My
like-
Morning Jacket is really good. I was listening to.
You still walk around and you put on headphones and listen to music and try to sort of see what everyone's up to.
Oh, I am an avid record buyer. I buy at least 3 records a week.
Who's your favorite guitar player? Who's your hero, guitar-wise?
I had a bunch, man. I had, Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix.
Right.
All the classics. Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, who played on my first solo album.
That's right. Yeah, that's
And
pretty amazing,
Jimmy has come up, and I became like friends with my heroes, man. I hang out with Jimmy Page now. It's like serious.
Do you? Where do you hang out at his castle?
In London, man. He's got an apartment in London.
And you hang out.
What's that like?
Are you tongue-tied around this guy? Like, I mean,
he makes it so you're not. He's such a gent.
Do you go over there and play guitars, or do you
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you talk about?
He came up and jammed with me a couple times, and I'm actually going to ask him if he wants to come to London and play.
Does he have 3D TV? He must, right? I mean,
we do when we hang out.
Yeah, what
It's
do you
interesting.
do? Because
we go to concerts,
right,
and go out to dinner. Just the two of us.
And do people freak out when you guys show up
It's kind
together?
of cool, man. Chicks are flying around, I'll tell you that.
Is he still getting laid? I mean, is he doing his thing?
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
Good
He's a
Lord.
stud. He looks great. He's feeling great.
Jimmy Page, man. Look at you hanging out
isn't
with
that
this
heavy?
guy. I never think, who the hell does Jimmy Page hang out with? I never knew it was
Is that
you.
with Richie?
Yeah, man.
I'm not good at hanging out with people.
You were good at hanging out with me when we were when I was living
but
in
we
New
never
York.
hung
We had
out.
a good time.
Like we take me over to Jimmy Page's apartment. Let's see what goes down. I'll fuck with that
Yeah,
guy.
listen to music, play a little guitar. You know what I mean? Just that's it's
Well,
just
what are you
easy.
going to do while they're listening to music and play guitar?
I'm get one of those drums. What was that called again?
Cajon.
A cajon. I'm going to get a cajon.
Okay.
I love that. It sounded great, by the way. You guys sound great together. Look, I could talk to you all day, but I'll let you out of here. Richie Sambora's new album, Aftermath of the Lowdown. I don't know what that means. It doesn't matter, really.
You want me to tell you?
What does it mean?
Okay. When you give somebody the lowdown, that's like giving somebody the truth.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what I did on this record about my life and what was going on. There's always an aftermath. It may be good. It may be bad.
All right, now I understand.
Now you understand?
Sort of. The single is Every Road Leads Home to You, which the boys just played. It's in stores tomorrow. And tickets for Richie's October tour dates in Philly and New York are on sale now at RichieSambora.com. So good to have you guys here today.
Brother.
Thank you for playing. And Richie, great seeing you. Known you so many years, and I'm very happy
Too
for
many
you.
years.
Yeah.
It won't be so long again, Howard.
All right, good. Don't be a stranger.
That's right. It's been a long time.
Next
Yeah,
time
right.
I see you, be at Jimmy Page's place. We're all going over there for the big
Yeah,
party.
man. Hey, why don't you guys put me on America Got Talent? I'd love to play.
Would you?
Yeah.
The fucking
It's
show's
over now.
over. But next
Yeah,
next
too
season.
bad.
Should have said something earlier.
Green Day had a bunch of cool people on it.
Yeah. Where were you? Who knew?
I don't know. Where was I?
Do you ever go over to John's house for those Obama get-togethers or those fundraisers?
I haven't been yet. No.
With Al Gore. all
I
the
haven't been
time.
over there. You haven't gotten political yet?
Well, I campaigned for Clinton.
Yeah.
And I campaigned for Al.
Right.
And, John's got the Obama thing kind of locked up. When he wants me to play, I'll probably go.
Right. You'll be there.
Absolutely.
All right. Listen, boys, thank you for doing this today. Very special morning because of your music.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we'll be back right after these words. Jesse Ventura,
Right
Governor
on.
Jesse Ventura.
Thank
is
you,
here.
Howard. You're the best, brother.
All right. Thanks, man. You too. Thanks, guys.
Fun with Ronnie the Limo Driver. On stage at Tootsie's Gentlemen's Club.